So we're here with Bianca Taylor in Vegan Life Festival, Athens. My first question would be, what's your opinion about our festival?
The Vegan Life Festival is amazing. There's so many people here. I love that the festival has free entry because I think it probably attracts a lot of people who maybe don't even know what the vegan lifestyle is. They just say, oh, this looks like fun to go to, and they come. Very well organized. I've had a really pleasant time with the organizers, and everybody's been so nice and kind and loving. So yeah, it's been great.
This is scripted, and she said exactly what we said that she should say. For people who don't know you and probably didn't see your speech here in Vegan Life Festival, what would you say to introduce yourself?
Introduce myself?
You do many things, so how?
Yeah.
The short version.
The short version. My name is Bianca Taylor, and I'm co-founder of veganfitness.com and founder of biancataylorfitness.com. I'm a podcast host of Badass Babe Radio, and I'm a social media influencer. So I make content about the vegan lifestyle, about women's empowerment, about mental health. I'm really about everything.
When did you go vegan? And when did you start talking about it as a form of activism or through social media?
Yeah, so I went vegan about 6 years ago, and at the time I was already posting a lot of stuff on Instagram about fitness because I'm very introverted. I've never been a super social person.
Wow.
So I know. I've always been very introverted, so I really liked.
Yeah, I mean, people by saying 6,000. How many followers on Instagram?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, by saying that many followers, people would assume that you're an extrovert.
They probably think I'm like a party animal, but I'm very introverted, and I like social media because I could connect with people without leaving my house. So I would always be posting, and then when I went vegan, about a week later, I decided, okay, I'm gonna talk about this online, and I started sharing about it. And
1 week was enough for
One week was enough. I was like, I'm in it. And then I started sharing about it, and eventually I saw how people would react to it. Sometimes good, sometimes not good, and I learned over time the best way to help people connect with the message without them feeling offended. I mean, of course, you're gonna upset people because you're telling them that the way they're living is wrong. So it took time to develop the way that I deliver my message, but it's important for everybody, no matter what type of activist you are, to deliver your message in a way that speaks to you, because it will speak to other people that are similar to you.
What was the first thing that you thought about that made you basically think about going vegan?
Yeah, I had never even considered it before. And I was cooking chicken one day, and I looked down at my dog, and I just realized that if I don't eat my dog, why do I eat chickens? And then I just immediately felt really confused, and I started doing research, and I came across all this research on animal agriculture and how it has this major impact on world hunger.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I live such a privileged life as it is. I was very lucky to be born in a first world country and to be able to have a lot of freedom. So I thought, what's the easiest thing I can control is how I spend my money, on food. So I decided I wasn't going to support the industry that was, causing so much environmental damage and animal slaughter. So yeah, that was how it happened.
Okay, so the first thought came by your love for your dog.
My love for my dog. Yeah.
What would you say to people who consider themselves animal lovers? I mean, they love their pets, basically, but they don't make the connection to other animals, basically, in their food, unfortunately.
Yeah, people who say they're an animal lover, but maybe they have a dog and they love their dog, but then they, eat burgers and chicken every day. They're just extremely disconnected from where their food comes from, and a lot of it has to do with just not being educated. And initially, it's not anybody's fault because we don't know where our food comes from. So that's not the case for everybody, but for a lot of us, I had no idea where my food was coming from, and once I found out, I wanted to make better decisions. So if you know where your food is coming from and you still choose to, to eat meat and stuff, then in that case, I would say that you're a pet lover and not an animal lover. But if you are educated and you decide you want to start making some lifestyle changes, then you can really tap into being a true animal lover and showing compassion for all beings.
Okay, I want to touch on a subject that was mentioned basically during your speech, but for people who probably haven't seen it. You said that you're a feminist, okay, and you also promote in your Instagram page a lot of things about women's rights, in your opinion, how do women's rights correlate or are connected to animals' rights or this whole movement?
Being a feminist means that you believe that females should have the right to choose things about their life. You should believe that women are allowed to choose if they want to go to school or not, what kind of job or career they want to have, and that should be extended across the human species to other living beings that are female. It's natural for mammals when they have babies to keep their babies with them, especially cows. They'll keep their babies with them for over a year. And in the dairy industry, female cows are extremely abused and they're not given that choice to raise their children. They're not given the choice to go into motherhood the way that they normally would. So if you say you're a feminist but you drink milk or you buy cheese and you support the dairy industry, you're actually causing a lot of harm to non-human females, and you should reconsider your choices.
I asked Nimai yesterday, would you say that we would live to see a vegan world during our lifetime, or as he said, our kids might see it?
Right. I would love to see a vegan world in my lifetime. I don't feel like it would happen in my life, while I'm young. I feel like if it happens, I might be like 99.
Okay.
And then finally I'll be like, I told you. I think it's going to take a long time, but I do think it's possible. And the only reason that gives me hope for that is looking back at how much humans have progressed in ethics when it comes to things like slavery or discrimination or segregation in the United States. That really wasn't that long ago. And we look back on it and we're like, how is it possible that we had segregated restaurants for people of different skin colors? So I think that it's very possible that in the future, I don't know how far ahead, but we'll look back and we'll say, I can't believe that we used to, keep animals in cages and eat them.
We're pretty positive that our children will experience this. So on the subject of children, I guess if you decide to have children, you'll decide to raise them as vegan, I guess.
Yes. If I have children in the future, I'll definitely raise them vegan. Of course, once they turn 18 or 19 and they move out, I can't control what they do, but nobody's bringing meat into my house. If I'm feeding them and I'm buying the groceries, I'm not going to be buying things that I don't believe in. And I would always make sure that when they go to school or they go to birthday parties, that the other adults in charge respect my decisions as a parent.
Awesome. But what would you say to women who are thinking about raising their children as vegan, but they feel this pressure from society, from their own parents, and just give the children some meat or something?
I would say the first thing, if you're feeling pressured, is to remember that as a parent, you are entitled to make those parental decisions, so you shouldn't be pressured by how other people tell you to parent. And the best thing that you can do to have confidence in the vegan diet and plant-based nutrition is to arm yourself with the knowledge of it. So read books, take classes if you can, do a lot of research so that when somebody says, oh, they're not going to get enough protein or they're not going to get B12 or whatever it may be, you're able to respond in an educated and kind way and let them know, actually, so that's the most important thing you can do is just arm yourself with education.
Would you say that most of the people in your audience are women or men?
I have a pretty split demographic across my my different accounts. I have one page that has a little bit more male followers. I have a page that has more female followers, and then I have another page that's 50-50. So across the board, it's pretty balanced. And I coach men as well. It's about 50% of my clients are men. Some
of my followers are women, some are men, and some are creepy men who just...
Oh, of course, yeah. That's unavoidable.
People send steaks and meat and say creepy stuff about, you experience this kind of social bullying. And how do you cope with that?
I mean, I definitely deal with social media bullying. Actually, maybe once somebody sent me a picture of a steak. But people will they'll try to argue with me about being vegan or, being a feminist. That's very triggering for people, especially men. So the best thing about that is just to, like I said, I'm very educated on the way that I live. So if somebody says something, if I feel like responding because I'm bored, I'll give them educated response, or sometimes I'll just, you know, tell them to like go away, block them. You have the power to hit the block button. You shouldn't let anybody disturb your peace. But if you have the energy, you should try to respond in a way that could maybe change that person's mind, because there have been people that I've responded kindly to, and then they ended up being like, actually, like, you just got me really interested in this. I'm gonna, like, you know, maybe try a vegan meal. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, do you consider yourself a role model for many women out there, mostly young women?
To say that I call myself a role model seems very like self-centered.
Bragging.
Right, and I always tell people.
Come on, have confidence. Yes, I am a role model.
Well, I always tell people that you know, the only role model you should have should be like the future you that you want to be. So that's the way that I live, and I don't, you know, I don't want people to like send their kids my way and think that like I should be, you know, the ideal role model, because I think that like everybody's goals are different. I think everybody has different things that they're capable of accomplishing. So, I mean, it makes me really happy to know that just sharing my lifestyle can inspire people,
empower them,
and empower them, and that's really like all I want to do. But calling myself a role model, isn't like.
I was just wondering. Okay, but in relation to this question, I was wondering if with the people that follow you, do you feel that you have a duty to spread all these messages that you about veganism, body positivity, all this stuff?
I personally feel like when you know something that is true, it is, at least for me, I feel like it's my duty to speak my truth, and that goes along the lines of living a vegan lifestyle for all of the reasons: animal suffering, environmental reasons. I love to educate people on why we should all be feminists, and it's not a men versus women thing. I love to educate people on why they should be body positive and love their bodies and respect other people's bodies no matter what they look like. So for me, it's always felt like when I find something out and I understand the truth of it, I want to share it. And of course, that's just me.
Okay, so in relation to body positivity, what would you encourage women and men? Yeah,
men need body positivity too, and I think it's overlooked a lot. I think that we're so focused. I think that we're so focused on body positivity for women, saying that, you know, women are beautiful in all sizes, which they are, but then we often forget about men, and that men feel really pressured to get super lean and have abs, or, you know, whatever. They think that they need to get bigger, they think that they need to be, you know, like stronger or whatever. And I think that it's important that you should love your body exactly where it's at in this moment, and you can still love yourself while you work on your fitness journey towards your goals. But yeah, body positivity is for everybody, and you should respect all bodies, because you don't know what somebody's body has been through to be at the point that it is when you see it.
But what would you say to people who would probably judge you and say, okay, maybe it's easy for you to say, I mean, you're the way you are, and Nima is the way he is, I mean, fits to the awesome stereotype. What would you say to the
people have...
And I also think that you mentioned that you also struggled back in the days with your own image, how you think of...
Yeah, definitely, and we're all our own worst critics, and I know that people only see me through their lenses. They don't see me through, you know, they don't see everything that I've been through. I've been underweight when I struggled with anorexia. I have been overweight when I rebound, and then I had to get surgery and I couldn't train, and I was like almost 40 pounds overweight, and I'm not very tall, so for me that felt like it didn't fit into any of my clothes. I didn't feel comfortable, I didn't feel confident, and I've experienced what it feels like to feel too skinny, and I've experienced what it feels like to feel like overweight and not comfortable with my body. So I have empathy for like people in whatever stage that they are, and obviously I have clients that, some of my clients are underweight and they want to gain weight, some of my clients are overweight and they want to lose weight, so I have empathy for all of those stages in life. And when somebody tells me, oh well, it's easier for you because of how you look, I just I don't even really care, because I know that like they'll never understand the struggle that I've been through, just like I know that they've gone through their struggles and I have no idea what they are. So I think it's just about being able to just deflect when people like throw negativity at you, and like stand strong in what you know is true.
Okay, awesome. So how would you describe veganism with one word?
I would say compassion.
Compassion, okay. Nimai said the same.
Oh, he did? Okay, well, we think alike. Compassion, because the obvious reason is living vegan, you're being more compassionate towards animals, but you're also being more compassionate towards yourself in the sense that you are eating a healthier lifestyle, which is going to help your body, it's going to help your mind. And I feel like when you are vegan and you start to become more compassionate, that extends beyond to other people, and you want to help other people, and you want to tell them like, oh, this is a great way to live, you're going to feel healthier, you're going to help save animals, and you become more compassionate for other people. So it really just like extends in every direction.
Okay, you said compassion,
yeah.
But most people, obviously who are not vegan, when they think about veganism, they don't think about the word compassion. They either think vegans are crazy people, or
angry.
Weird, angry. What's missing here so people would make the connection and think about veganism as a compassion?
A lot of people have the misconception that all vegans are angry activists on the street who like will throw paint on your fur coat, and that's an extreme and a certain type of activism. Some people respond really well to that. The majority of people respond to, compassion. But I think that for people who maybe have that misconception about vegans, I just try to remind them that in every group of people, there's so many different types of people within that group. So just like you may look at a group of people from somewhere, or you could look at feminists and you could think like all feminists are like really angry women who like don't shave their legs, but that's not true. Everybody has different ways of living. So I just remind them that, and I try to set the example. And I always try to also show people other examples, whether it be like Nimai, or there's so many other vegan fitness influencers that I love, and they're amazing people, and I'll always show people those as an example and be like, there's so many just nice vegans, they're not all angry,
What are your experiences from Athens and Greece, and will people that missed you, will they perhaps see you in the future again here in another Vegan Life Festival? Yeah,
definitely. I had a lot of fun here. It was my first time speaking to an audience that didn't completely speak English, so it did make me a little nervous that I didn't know if things that I was going to say would translate the same, but I did my best, and even people who didn't speak English were still able to like come up to me after and communicate with me, so that's really awesome. There's a lot of energy here, there's a lot of culture here, and just everybody's so nice, and I really love the way people are here, so I'll definitely be back.
So how would you close this with a statement or something, or opinion for our viewers, something to think about? Or
try to seek compassion in all corners of your life, whether it's with yourself, with other people, with non-human beings, animals of any kind, and just allow that to have an impact on your life.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.